Hey guys, tonight we drift to a world built on water, where gardens don't just grow from soil, they float. Picture the faint shimmer of sunrise over Lake Xochimilco, a mirror of pale gold broken only by reeds and the soft creak of wooden canoes. You can almost hear the splash of paddles, the slow rhythmic breathing of water beneath woven roots. Somewhere, a heron lifts its wings, and the air smells of damp earth, maize, and something faintly sweet, perhaps morning blossoms. You probably wouldn't survive here, at least not easily. The mosquitoes alone might declare you their personal empire. But the Aztecs, they made this marsh their masterpiece. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And if you do, let me know in the comments where you're listening from, and what time it is there right now. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You sit at the edge of a vast, shimmering wetland, and you can almost feel it pulsing with quiet intelligence. Lake Xochimilco, one of 5 great lakes in the Valley of Mexico, stretches outward in the cool dawn. Centuries before the word Mexico meant a nation, it was the heart of an empire, a glittering city named Tenochtitlan rising from the shallows like a vision. Around it, thousands of narrow, rectangular islands float gently on the water. These are the Chinampas, the floating gardens that fed an entire civilization. Of course, they don't truly float. The illusion is part of the magic. The Aztecs built them by staking out a rectangle with reeds and piling on layers of mud, lake sediment, and decaying plants until the structure rose just above the water surface. Between each Chinampa, canals crisscross like veins, carrying both water and life. Canoes slip through them the way delivery trucks hum through a modern city. Except these roads glitter, and everything smells faintly alive. It's easy to forget this was once swamp, the kind most people would flee from. But the Aztecs saw possibility in every puddle. They learned to read the subtle rhythms of lake water, its rise and fall through the seasons, its nutrient cycles, its oxygen-rich shallows. What began as survival, turning flood into farmland, became a kind of art. A sustainable miracle long before the word sustainability ever existed. You lean down to touch the edge of a Chinampa and feel it sponge beneath your fingertips, cool and elastic. Reeds hold the structure like roots of an underwater city. The mud, rich and black, clings to your hand with the scent of generations of harvests. This was soil made from patient labor. Night after night, farmers paddled out to scoop silt from the lake bottom, laying it in careful layers. The result was a living raft that could last for decades, centuries, even, if tended correctly. Here's a historical fact to anchor you. Tenochtitlan's population may have reached over 200,000 people at its height in the early 1500s, larger than most European cities at the time. Every day, the Chinampas surrounding it produced maize, beans, squash, chilies, and flowers in such abundance that markets overflowed. Spanish chroniclers wrote with disbelief about gardens that floated upon the water like green jewels. Yet the gardens were more than agriculture, they were theology in miniature. The Aztecs believed in a world sustained by balance, between land and water, light and dark, life and death. The Chinampa embodied that philosophy perfectly, a kind of breathing symbol of coexistence. Water fed the soil fed the crops, and the crops, in turn, fed the people who performed rituals to keep the gods content. You might call it eco-engineering, they would call it cosmic duty. You can almost picture the early morning rituals. Farmers dipping their hands in water, murmuring to the lake spirit, offering a pinch of maize before planting. It's hard not to smile at how effortlessly practical and spiritual merged here. Even their mud was holy. Here's a fringe tidbit for you. Archaeologists have found hints that some Chinampas were arranged in symbolic patterns visible only from above, almost like green mandalas on the lake's surface. Some say it was just efficient irrigation geometry. Others whisper it was a message to the gods in the sky. Historians still argue whether these patterns were intentional religious symbols, or simply the happy result of practical land management. Either way, the sight must have been breathtaking. The air warms as the sun climbs higher. A chorus of frogs begins, their croaks weaving through the distant thud of wooden paddles. You can see a man, barefoot, skin gleaming with sweat, tending his small patch of maize. He moves quietly, rhythmically, as if the plants are listening. His family lives on the nearby shore, and this narrow strip of floating soil sustains them. It's not just a workplace, it's their connection to ancestors, to gods, to the steady cycles of the lake. You stand in your canoe, gently rocking, and realize this isn't just farming, it's choreography. Each movement, each mud scoop, Each seed pressed into the earth follows an unspoken rhythm passed down for generations. And when the wind passes through the reeds, it almost sounds like applause. You wonder how it must have felt to wake every morning surrounded by shimmering water, to live in a city that glowed emerald and silver beneath the sky, to see gardens bloom not on land but on the soft, rippling skin of a lake. The Aztecs didn't just survive in this place, they made it sing. And as you drift deeper into the canals, you start to feel that strange, calming balance too. The pulse of the lake beneath the soil, the slow exhale of water lilies opening to the sun, the soft call of a heron echoing across centuries. This was how the Aztecs began their day, with quiet, rhythm, and faith in a system that worked because it respected everything around it. The wind picks up a little, carrying the scent of wet earth and the faint sweetness of maize pollen. Somewhere behind you, a paddle dips into water again. You close your eyes and float, and for a moment, you can almost believe you're part of this ancient network of life, a single drop in a shimmering, breathing world.